You mentioned that other than the road rage thing today, that you had no enemies that you knew of?
There was nothing. He was just, talking on and on about it. But, I mean, he was really upset, but I really wanted to see Michael.
As soon as they're done talking to you, he's here. So
Are they going to talk to me? They want to see Michael?
there's just some things that they have to do procedurally before they come in here. They're here, so it should be any minute now. I know I keep saying that, but I know they're here. I saw them walk in, so just bear with us for a few more minutes. I know it's frustrating. Strong for Michael though too.
I'm trying. That's what I keep thinking.
He's gonna read off of you. So
I get upset when it's just started.
that is something that you're gonna have to, be strong for him because he's obviously never experienced a death, so he's gonna really need to lean on you. You okay, Jane? Hang in there, Jane. Can I get you anything? 2:45. I'm sorry this is taking a while. I know this is very difficult for you. But it's okay to cry. It's okay to let it out.
Have a cross.
I was trying to find you a sweater, but I couldn't buy.
I can't. I'm like freezing. I was doing laundry when we got home from the beach, and much longer?
I don't think so. They're here already. I'm assuming that they're just getting their things together to come in and talk to you. Unless not all the investigators are here. Oh, I think I hear something.
Got it. Thank you.
Hi, Jane.
Hi.
Anything else? Do you use the restroom or anything? Okay. How you doing? My name's Detective Moore. I'm your first interrogation.
Hi.
My name's Jane.
Jane.
You've been here a while. Some time to reflect and calm down on that. And, but at this point, there's a lot of unanswered questions. And we talk about what happened. I know you've already talked about it. I know you've already spoken to another officer about what happened. And they're kind of general questions that they ask, and we could get a little bit more to depth as to what happened tonight. So we kind of put it back together and then go from there. Okay? Why don't you start out with what happened?
Dave heard something outside.
And Dave is who?
My husband.
How long have you been married?
29 years in December.
And where have you guys lived?
In Oxnard.
Your whole life?
Well,
During your marriage, I mean.
Santa Barbara, Goleta, and Oxnard.
Okay.
But mostly Oxnard.
Where did you meet?
At Santa Clara High School.
Okay. And did you date before that?
No. We dated after high school.
How long have you known him?
Known him since freshman year. High school.
It's quite a long time. And been married 29 years?
In December.
This December will be 29?
Mm-hmm.
It's a long time. How many kids do you have together?
Just one.
Just one? And what's his name?
Michael.
How old is he?
10.5.
Is he adopted? I hear. For you. It's an honorable thing to do.
He's a good boy.
Wish more people would do that. We have some really good friends that adopted several kids, really good kids, and that's a lot of work. It's a big undertaking.
Yeah, he's a good little boy, though.
It's a lot of responsibility. So you just have the one boy? How long have you lived on Raft Lane?
Since 86.
Do you work?
Not right now.
Where did you used to work at?
I worked at Bank of Levy, and then I worked for my family.
What does your family do?
They're farmers.
Where at?
Winnie Road out there, and then they lease land all over.
Do they have their own ranch, or is it? What's the name of the company?
Boca Farms.
Okay. And does your husband work?
He's a teacher.
Where at?
Miami High School.
How long has he been a teacher?
He taught at Santa Clara. I think 9 years. And then was at Miami, but he started there in 98. So,
What grade does he teach?
I don't know. Right now, he's actually the athletic director. So he has just 2 grades, 2 PE classes.
Why don't you tell me what happened tonight?
He just said he heard some noises outside. And
Oh, what time was this?
10, I don't know, 10:45 maybe.
What time did you guys go to bed?
At 9:45 or 10.
Did you guys go to bed together or at separate times?
He went to bed first,
What time did he go to bed?
about 9:30, 9:45.
And then you?
I went in Michael's room, because Dave's back is really bad, so I most times go into Michael's room or go on the couch if his back is hurting really bad.
Okay.
So I was sleeping with Michael. And he heard some noises, and the dog was growling. So we went outside, and he told me to put the dogs in with Michael.
Now, at about 9:30, 9:45, were you guys watching TV? What was,
Michael was playing a game, a video game,
what kind of,
Xbox game,
okay. Where was that at?
in the living room.
What was your husband doing?
He went to bed
What was he doing prior to that, though? Right before that?
watching Michael.
So were they playing together?
Mm-mm.
You're just watching the game? What kind of game it was?
Halo,
Hmm.
I think.
What were you doing?
Dishes.
Hand washing or dishwasher?
Well, I hand wash him and put him in the
So
dishwasher.
you kind of rinse them off and then put them in the dishwasher?
Dishwasher doesn't work that good, so I
I got the same problem.
use it as a drying rack.
Yeah. It's kind of, I think, the standard in most houses. At some point, they just become storage.
Mhm.
So after you guys are having the normal, playing video games and you're doing dishes, then is his name David?
Mhm.
He decides to go to bed. And is Michael still up?
Mhm.
So David goes to bed about what time?
9:30.
Okay. And Michael's still there playing.
Mhm.
And then what time does Michael go to bed?
About 10 to 10.
10 minutes to 10. And then what time do you go to bed?
Same.
So you two go together?
Mhm.
And Dave is in another room?
Mhm.
Is it a guest room or is it another
No,
bedroom?
He's in our bedroom.
Oh, your bedroom. So you're in
I'm in Michael's room.
Michael's room. Okay. Do you sleep on the same bed or separate?
Mhm.
So, safe to say around 10 o'clock everybody's in bed?
Pretty much.
Okay. Lights are off.
Mhm.
Lights are on.
Much up
Okay. Where are the dogs?
in Michael's room.
So it's you, Michael, and how many dogs?
2
What kind of dogs are they?
German Shepherds.
Do you shut the door?
No.
Okay, the doors are open. What about in your bedroom where David is?
That was close.
So 10 o'clock, lights are out, people are in bed. Maybe you and Michael and the dogs in one room, and David in the master bedroom. Are they across from each other?
No. Master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the hallway. Michael's room.
Okay, so they're
In
on
the same hall.
the same hall, on the street side or the backyard side? Okay. Then what happens?
Belle was growling.
Who was?
The dog.
What's the dog's name?
Belle.
Okay. And you have 2 dogs?
Belle and Knuckles.
Okay.
And I thought it was just a possum, because we keep getting them in the backyard. like straight off. They run straight off the sliding glass door.
Talking about the possums?
The dogs chase them
Okay.
at night sometimes. And he thought he heard a noise, and he goes, it might be the possums, I don't know.
Okay, well, what time was that at?
11,
11 o'clock? Okay.
I think.
So you guys have been in bed for about an hour? Okay. And the dog growls
She's walking back and forth.
in the bedroom or
On
out?
the hallway, it's tile.
Okay.
She's back and forth.
So that wakes you up?
Yeah. Dave told her to go lay. I could hear her yell at her to go lay down.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then he opened the door and he said, "What's wrong with her?" And I said, "I don't know, that she must have to go outside." And then we went back to bed. And then he got up and said he thought he heard something.
How long between the time you went back to bed? Yeah, again.
10, 15 minutes, I don't know.
And during that 10 and 15 minutes was it her name Belle?
Mm-hmm.
Was she still growling?
Not growling, but she's kind of bugging me. You know, like she wanted to go out.
For 15 minutes?
Well, she's laying there, but she keeps.
I have dogs too, and I know when they want to get out, they're pretty persistent.
And I knew she didn't have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Because I let them out like at 9 o'clock.
But it's a pretty common occurrence for the dogs to get riled up over the possums.
Well, they don't usually. Michael's room's on the side of the house. But when I let them out, like, usually at 1:30 every night, they charge out to the back fence.
Okay. So
And I'm assuming it's a possum because they never jump in the plants unless it's something like that.
Okay. So 15 minutes later, David comes out, opens the bedroom door, and says what?
He said there's something whatever in the backyard.
But what exactly did he say?
Something's in the backyard, I think.
He said, I think?
No, I said I think. He said there's something going on in the backyard. I think that's what he said.
Okay. Did he come to you first, or did he just...
He just said it in the hallway.
So that you could hear it? Did he turn on any lights?
Not the bathroom light, maybe.
So it's about 11:15 now? Okay. And then what happens? What do you do after he says, I think I heard something?
We start to go out the back door.
Who's we?
Me and Dave. And then he says, keep the dogs in with Michael. And he says, get it.
Well, they seem like pretty aggressive dogs. Pretty alert.
They're good dogs, but she'll protect the house.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll listen. Knuckles puts on a good show.
But if there was...
He does whatever. He does what she does.
If there was somebody in the backyard, would you let the dogs out?
Maybe. Yeah.
So you both walk...
I don't know if Dave thought it was a possum. I don't know if you didn't want, Belle to get bit, whatever. I don't know.
What typically happens when you let the dogs out and there's possums back there?
They just run to the back fence.
Okay, and then what?
They come back.
All right. So it's pretty common just to let them run and they do their thing and,
They just run out.
put on a show.
They run, sniff, go to the bathroom, come in.
Okay.
It's like it's just two every night.
So it's a common occurrence. You let them out and there they go.
She wakes me up, he goes out. She hardly ever does. And they...
He goes out, meaning who? Knuckles?
Knuckles.
But tonight, It was different. Why?
With the dogs? I don't know. He just said put the dogs in Michael's room. And I had the kitten in there too.
Okay.
I don't know.
Where is the sliding glass door as you're walking down the hallway? Is it facing the back of the house, or is it facing the side of the house?
Going off the bedroom.
Which bedroom?
Master.
Uh-huh.
And then off the hallway, you have to walk through the dining room and go into the kitchen. And it's
So you can walk directly into the backyard from the master bedroom.
off that door.
Okay. Is that the door he went through? Where did he go?
Off the kitchen one.
Why would he go down there?
We never used the other one. It has the blinds on it and stuff. I don't know.
Okay. I'm just curious. So where did he hear the noise?
Where or when?
Where? So he's got to walk past Michael's bedroom to get to.
No, it's Michael's bedroom, master bedroom, dining room, kitchen,
And then where's the slider?
door.
Okay.
Off the kitchen.
So the master bedroom's in the center of the hallway.
It's at the edge of the house.
Okay. So he walks down the hallway, through the dining room, through the kitchen, and where are you at?
At that time, I'm in the dining room.
Okay.
And then he said,
When you get there, do you guys turn on any lights?
I did, and he told me to turn the one off.
Which one?
The family room one. It's off the kitchen. It's all one room.
Okay.
And he said, get me a flashlight.
Okay. Do you have a flashlight?
Okay, yeah,
Where's the flashlight kept?
in the kitchen.
Where?
By the door to the kitchen when you walk in.
I haven't been in your house, so okay.
Okay, there's an opening right here off the dining room.
Hmm?
And then there's a kind of a wall thing. And then there's an opening here. You can do a circle.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying.
So this is family
The
room.
entryway to the kitchen.
Yeah. There's a little door, and then it's family room, kitchen. You can run a circle.
Okay.
And it's right there when you underneath the light switch.
What kind of flashlight is it? Is it a big one, little one? Like the normal size?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you give it to him?
I had it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember. I think he said get back in the house or something like that. I can't remember.
Okay, so you had it. He asked for it. He was already at the sliding
He
glass
said
door.
get it. He was out. He said get a flashlight. And so I got the red flashlight. I can't remember.
Okay. I'm not asking you to know exactly what happened. It'll come to you if maybe you remember in a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have outside lights? Did you turn them on?
No. Didn't go on.
Are they motion lights?
One up front is.
But the ones in the backyard are not?
No, you have to flip them.
Did you flip them on?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Did he?
I don't know. No. I don't know.
Okay. So you walk towards the sliding glass door with the flashlight in your hand, right?
Mhm.
And when you get to the sliding glass door, what happens?
He started to. I remember we heard a bump, but he started to go off where the trash cans were.
Describe the bump you heard.
It's just like the storage thingy on the side. Sounded like a bump.
Like something hit, something landed on top of it.
I don't know.
Something moving?
I don't know. It's just that, that wall when you walk in.
And where's that wall at? Inside the house?
Uh-huh. And then he went and I stood right on, like on the edge of the grass and he said, get your butt in the house.
So you are outside
Mm-hmm.
on the lawn,
Mm-hmm.
the patio, I'm assuming. And he's where?
He's going towards the gate.
Which gate?
To the front yard.
Okay. On the side of the driveway or on the side of the garage?
Driveway.
And when he goes, you can see him, right?
Me?
Right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, then what happens?
I went in the house. I mean, I kind of like stood there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard something like, what the F, or something like that.
You stood there and heard what the F?
Yeah.
And went in the house?
I think so.
But you could see him.
Mm-mm.
You can't see him? You just said you could see him.
I could, but then I went back on the patio.
Okay.
And then I went in the house.
Okay.
And then I heard the shots, so I slammed the door.
You heard, I thought you said you heard what the F.
I did hear that.
Exactly what did you hear? Literally said the letter F?
No.
What did he say?
What the fuck?
Who said that?
I think it was Dave.
Did he say it like loud or did he say it?
No, just, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Did he say anything like you or hey or?
I heard, but I shut the door.
You shut what door?
The slider.
Okay. So your husband says, what the fuck? You shut the slider.
Because he said, get your ass in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's 3 steps, and then I heard him say something like, what the fuck? And then I heard some shots, so I shut the door and I ran.
Okay, did you shut the door and then hear the shots, or did you hear the shots and then shut the door? You know, if you don't know, you don't know. Okay. So, on that side of the house, is there a gate leading out to the front?
Mm-hmm.
Is it locked?
It should be.
Okay. Did you hear the gate open?
No.
Did you hear any rattling after he said, what the fuck? What exactly did you hear after what the fuck? Okay.
I don't remember.
All right. But after that, you hear gunshots? How many gunshots do you hear? 1?
I think
3. Okay. How far in between hearing what the fuck and the gunshots?
15, 20 seconds.
Okay. And you're inside with the door shut at this time. Did you turn the lights on then? Is there a light that shines on that side of the house? Did you hear anything after the gunshots?
I ran to Michael's room.
Okay. Did you yell out for David at all? What'd you yell?
Dave, where are you? I didn't go outside though. I called the police and they said don't go out there.
Okay, well, before you get there. So, how many times did you yell for David after the gunshots?
I don't know.
Okay. Like loud, like people could hear you? Like if there was a fire?
Why?
Or was it pretty quiet?
I shut the door. I mean, I yelled, Dave, where are you? I mean, I yelled, Dave.
With the door shut?
Yeah.
And you didn't turn the lights on?
Mhm.
And then what did you do?
I got the phone and ran to Michael's room
Where was the phone at?
on the, there's one in the living room and then there's one in the, right when you walk in that door, on the kitchen counter.
Which one did you get? Are they cordless phones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you had one of the two cordless phones?
Yeah, I think it was on the it was on the kitchen table. I never put them back.
Is there just two?
There's three, but one doesn't work.
Where's the third one
On top of the computer tower.
at? Okay.
But it sits there because it doesn't work.
Because what?
I dropped it in the toilet.
And so you grab the phone, and what do?
I called 911
Where are you at when you're calling 911?
in the hallway to Michael's room.
Okay. And is Michael awake or asleep?
He's asleep.
So you're in the bedroom with him?
I'm more in the hall.
Who's we?
I said, I'm more in the hall.
Oh, okay.
And I kept going, I was trying to look out the door,
Which door?
the slider.
The one that you guys went out?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see it from the hallway?
Well, not the hallway, but you can stand. And the circle part I told you,
Uh-huh.
you can stand, and I was looking out.
So you're kind of in a position where you can see the slider and you can see your son's bedroom door.
Not his door, but I can see the hallway.
Did you go in the room?
I checked on him,
And what was he doing?
sleeping.
What were the dogs doing?
Bill was laying next to his bed.
And what about Knuckles?
Knuckles was following me.
What did they do when they heard the gunshots?
I don't know.
Did you hear them barking at all?
I don't remember. I don't remember them barking until the police came to the door.
Okay, so you call 911. Tell me what happens next. What do you do?
I talked to them.
Where were you at when you were talking to them?
And by Michael's door, I'm looking out the slider.
Okay.
And on that circle part.
And what are you telling that 911 operator?
That we went outside and there were shots and I don't know where my husband is.
Okay. And what happened next?
She told me to stay on the line and don't go outside, and police were coming.
Okay. And then what happened?
The police came. The minute I put the dogs in the master bedroom.
Was there a point where, did you hang up the phone and then have them to call you back?
No, I dropped it.
Where'd
I
you
didn't drop it, but it slipped off my shoulder
Mhm.
on the shelf in the hallway. And I was trying to find it.
Okay. Did they have to call you back? Did it disconnect?
No.
Um,
And I put it, and it flipped out, and I couldn't.
so tell me what you were doing the whole time while you're on the phone with the 911 operator.
I was running back from Michael's room to check that door, and I was just kind of right there in the hallway.
Did you do anything?
No,
Did you go in any of the rooms?
I think I was in the bathroom.
Okay. Why'd you go in the bathroom?
I felt kind of weird.
Like,
I didn't know if I had to pee or puke, and I was just kind of.
your adrenaline's going, you're kind of nauseous.
Yeah, I didn't know if I.
Okay, you got to throw up. Really traumatic experience.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That's natural.
I thought I had to pee, and nothing.
Did you wash your hands or anything?
Mm.
Have you changed your clothes since? And then what happened? Okay. They came in the house, or did they go outside?
They came in the house.
How many?
2.
Was Michael still asleep?
Mm-hmm.
And
Good sleeper.
and then what happened?
And eventually they let me call my brother to come over. And then we came here.
Okay, and that's it?
Yeah, so my police came and
You don't know anything else? Do you have any guns in the house?
mm-hmm.
What kind of guns do you guys have?
There's some shotguns in the gun safe. And then there's that gun in the box. And then there's some gun.
Is the box in the gun safe, or is it a...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then there's what?
There's a shotgun thingy in the Dave's closet.
Okay. Any other guns?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any. Maybe a pellet gun or something in the garage.
Anywhere else?
He had one, I don't know, he had gone out to the ranch one time. I don't know.
You said he hid one. Where?
I don't know.
What kind of gun was it?
It was one of those little pellet, not a pellet gun, but a
Handgun?
handgun, I think. But I don't even know if he still has it.
When's the last time you saw it?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, yeah, you could.
Maybe they went to the ranch once. I don't know, it's been years.
Do you know where all the guns are in your house?
I think most of them are, I think they're all in the gun cabinet, except that one that has the belt thing on it.
Where's that one kid?
In the closet,
Which closet?
in the master bedroom.
Okay.
And then he did have one, that handgun thing on the shelf, but I told him when Michael arrived, he said he put it somewhere else.
You know how to shoot?
Yeah,
Hunt?
we used to hunt,
Where'd you used to?
quail, and, once in a while dove.
Yeah. Where'd you guys go hunting?
My sister's aunt at mine,
Oh,
and then we'd shoot skeet
okay.
at the ranch.
Do you ever go to, like, pistol ranges and stuff? No. So you primarily shot the skeet
Yeah.
shotgun?
He got me what is it, 20 gauge,
Okay, yeah.
I think. And then he has some.
So the weapon, the guns in the safe or in the house, I mean, you would know how to use.
I would, the shotguns, yeah.
Okay.
We,
I guess what I'm asking, you guys practice gun safety, right? It sounds like you have a gun safe. Sounds like you keep the guns locked
it's
up.
supposed to be in there.
I mean, you're not going to have something in your house you don't know how to use it,
No.
especially like that, right?
No, and that one in the closet, I don't know who gave that to him.
Which one?
I don't know,
The one with the belt you're talking about?
Yeah.
Is it a rifle?
No.
Shotgun?
It's a shotgun.
Okay.
It's got what are they called, cartridges,
Mm-hmm.
and it's on a belt.
Oh, okay.
Like that, I don't know, it's a...
Oh, the belt is the rounds that we're
Yeah.
talking about? Okay.
Yeah. But he's got a, key lock thing on it.
Okay. So it sounds like you guys, you have weapons, you respect them, you know how to
I don't
keep
like
them
him. I mean,
keep safe.
Michael doesn't want to shoot him at all.
That's fine. With all the weapons in the house, safety and the dogs, Was there ever any indication to take one out? I guess what I'm asking, most people that I know that have guns and practice gun safety, have gun safes, know how to use the weapons and know when they can and can't use the weapons. They're not just people who just stuff them under pillows and have them in nightstands. They actually practice gun safety. And if their property's threatened or something happens, typically, they take it out to protect themselves. It's your property, it's your family. You're hearing noises. You're telling me now it's almost 11:30 at night. It's an unreasonable hour for somebody to be around your house or on your property. So I'm thinking, well, why would they have all these there? Don't they walk out with one of them to see if there's somebody back there? Or if that's not the case, maybe one of the dogs.
Bill, she's protective, but I don't know.
What about one of the guns?
He always thought that one in the closet, but...
Did he take it out with him?
No.
No? Did you see anything in his hands when he walked out? The flashlight that you had? What did you end up doing with that?
I don't know.
Because at this point you have it, you're outside with it. I mean,
I don't know.
why wouldn't you turn it on?
I did, but I think I took it with me
Where?
in the house.
Okay. So you had it with you the whole time?
I think.
And it works?
I think so.
And you were outside with it? Okay. And you bring it in the house?
I think.
Right. Do you know what you did with it? So the point on the side of the house where Dave is, what's over there?
The trash cans.
What kind of trash cans?
The big city ones.
Okay. How many?
There's 3.
What else?
A table, like an outdoor little work table. And there's some wood and a wheelbarrow.
So it's pretty confined.
Yeah.
A lot of room to run around.
I mean, there's, it's an aisleway. We put some stuff on the fence.
So why would he go over there?
I don't know. Unless that's where he heard that. If he heard a noise, I don't know.
Did you hear a noise and tell him you heard a noise over there?
I thought, it was like a thump.
Where was he at when he heard that thump?
Going out the door.
Where were you at?
Like in the kitchen behind him.
So what's the length of that side of the house?
25 feet. I don't know.
I guess what I'm asking, if you look out the sliding glass door, can you see down there?
No, you gotta walk out of it.
All right. If I turn on one of the side lights, does it shine over there?
No.
So you need a flashlight.
Yeah.
And being that it's confined and there's all sorts of stuff there, was it safe to say that you should have a flashlight if you're going to be over there? But you had it.
I think I did.
Did you turn it on?
Sure, I think so.
What did you see when you turned it on?
That's when he told me to get in the house.
Why would he tell you to get in the house?
I don't know, he just said to get back in the house.
Okay. When you turned it on, what did you see though?
Dave.
Okay. Where was Dave?
Right there by walking right past the greenhouse.
Where all this, you're saying the table is and the trash cans and the...
Yeah, it goes like that, and there's a table and the trash cans, and then some plants along the fence.
So you see Dave there. What else do you see?
I thought I saw, I don't know if it was the trash cans or what, but
Did you see anybody else?
I thought I saw like a shadow or something by the trash can.
Do you think you did? And was it in front of or behind Dave?
Dave's here. There's the gate. So it's over there.
So Dave would have seen it too. It's in front of him. But how would you see it then if Dave was in front of it? How could you see past him?
Because I was like here. He's here.
Okay.
And then you kind of go like that.
And did you say, Dave, there's somebody by the trash can? Didn't think it was important?
He said, get your ass in the house.
Turn the flashlight off and go in the house?
I don't know what to do with it.
Okay, you had it, you see something.
I was like, doing the feet so we don't trip thing.
So how far behind him were you?
4 or 5 feet,
Maybe you?
maybe.
And
Maybe, no, I don't know.
farther away?
I was like,
This is
like at the edge of the grass. He's like past the chimney, so 4 or 5 feet. I don't know.
Okay. And you got the flashlight, you see shadows by the trash can. What do you do?
He said, get your ass in the house.
Does he see the shadows? Does he say anything to the shadow?
I heard him say, what the fuck?
So you're outside when he said, what the
I'm
fuck?
turning around, I hear, what the fuck?
So you see it, he turns to you to get your ass in the house?
Yeah,
So you turn away,
I'm in the house.
you have the flashlight in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and then you hear him say, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And you're in the house or outside.
And then going to the door.
Okay? The sliding door.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
And I hear the shots, and then I shut the door.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Then I ran to the back.
When you went outside, did you leave the sliding door open? So when you went inside, you actually shut it? So you physically grabbed the handle and then shut the door?
Yeah.
Okay. So at that point, where's the flashlight? All right. Is it a red metal one, a plastic one?
I ran another one.
You know who makes it? Is it beat up? Is it bright red like a fire engine, or is it a dull?
Crimson
Okay. So you had that flashlight with you before and after this whole thing?
red. I don't know about after. I don't know what I did.
But you had it with you outside until you came inside?
Yeah.
Right. And then you heard the gunshots?
Thanks.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And then after the gunshots, you called out for him?
I yelled Dave.
And
I kept thinking he might be going up front. I didn't know.
did you hear anything at all after the gunshots? Any rustling around, noises, bumps, gates opening, cars leaving? Well, yeah, you can't tell me. It's either you did or you didn't.
Well, I don't remember.
Yeah, you do remember.
I don't know.
You do know. Either you heard it or you didn't hear it.
I guess I didn't.
Okay, that's all you need to know. You didn't hear anything else? So you get the phone, and you go back to your son. He's asleep. The dogs are laying down.
What am I?
Okay. But you can hear how loud were those gunshots?
It seemed that loud.
kind of muffled. They sound like pops or like gunshots.
Yeah, I don't know, they didn't seem so loud.
As loud as they normally are.
I don't know.
I'm just saying because you've been around gunfire,
Oh, it's
obviously.
different from, like, not as loud.
You're different from what?
I was gonna say, it seems, you know, if you're outside,
Mm-hmm.
it seems different.
How different?
It was like muffled, I don't know.
Well, you've been around guns. You've been around gunfire. You've heard 20 gauges go off, 12 gauges. You've heard rifle rounds and pistol rounds. What does this sound like?
It sounded like a pop. Like, quick.
Okay. Like a firecracker pop or like,
Kinda. Yeah.
how many pops did you hear?
3.
Were they, describe them to me, how fast they were.
Pop, pop, pop.
Okay. It wasn't pop, hesitation, pop, and hesitation, pop. It was 1, 2, 3.
I mean, not like, you know, I think.
Okay. And the dogs didn't do anything?
They did bark, but I shut the door.
Which door?
To Michael's room.
Did they come out?
No. They were in his room.
But when you went in there, they were laying down sleeping?
No.
Or they were laying down?
No. Bill was by Michael's bed. Knuckles went charging out. And then when I got up, Bill ran to the front door, but then she went back to Michael's room.
Was that sliding glass door shut the whole time? After you shut it?
I think so.
So the only doors you touched were the sliding glass door after you heard the gunshots. After the gunshots, you closed the sliding glass door. Then you went to your son's bedroom, opened that door.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't have had the cell phone and the flashlight in the same hand, or
No.
both.
I put the flashlight somewhere.
Okay, and then you shut the door again.
Mm-hmm.
Left the dogs where?
When I was on the phone, they were with me.
Okay. And then where did you put the dogs?
They were in the house till the police came. And then I put them in the master bedroom.
All right. Get it straight. About 9:30, they're playing video games, Halo, on the Xbox. Michael or David decides to go to bed.
Dave was on his laptop for a while, watching.
Laut said he was playing videos with Michael.
He wasn't actually playing. He was watching. But he was on his email. He was on his laptop.
Okay. So he's on his laptop, you're doing the dishes, Michael's playing video games. Kind of like a normal evening. Is it?
When not watching TV, Dave plays games. He
Okay.
plays the airplane games.
On
Xbox.
Okay.
I think, I don't know.
Right. And then you go to bed, and then all this stuff happens.
Yeah.
What time do you guys usually go to bed?
10.
So it's the usual time.
During the summer.
And why do you guys sleep in separate rooms?
His back is really bad.
What's wrong with his back?
I don't know, his discs are compressed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the right word. Stenosis.
Uh-huh.
And when he sleeps, sometimes he has to go across because he can't get comfortable.
Right.
So I go with Michael usually, or I sleep on the couch.
Do you take medication for it?
Once in a while, he'll take Vicodin.
Do you take it tonight? It's a pretty painful situation. Back problems are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes you, how long does it take him to get up out of bed?
You know, he says once he's up now, it's not bad during the day, but it's sleeping.
But I mean, once you're asleep, I mean, I've known people who had family members with severe back problems, and it's a process to get out of bed.
He has so he has a walker by the bed, so he can pull himself up.
Okay.
But sometimes he needs a cane, just to get going in the morning.
How long does it take him to get out of bed?
I mean, to get up.
I mean, once he's awake, to get up and get out of bed.
No.
But he can't just pounce up and get up and
No,
take.
I mean, he's slow, but it's not. It's laying down that is what really hurts.
Does he always walk with a cane? Just once in a while?
Heck, he walks on the treadmill almost every day.
Good.
Laying down that hurts. You know, he can sit up, but when he lays, and then he even tried a neck brace to see if he could lay straight, but then he'll go diagonal to see if it'll help. It's laying down that hurts most.
So why do you sleep in separate beds?
Because he can't sleep straight. He goes this way.
How long have you been sleeping in separate beds?
It's probably 2 years.
How long has he had a back problem?
5 years. It's gotten worse. He had 2 or 3 epidurals 2 years ago. He can't sleep, and then I can't sleep, so I usually go in with Michael.
So you've been putting up with this for a while?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work, I imagine.
Not really.
Hmm?
He complains about it, but it's better now that he was at Wainimi than he was at Frontier for a year. So.
Tell me about your marriage. How would you describe it?
It's not perfect.
None of them are. Absolutely not.
I do most everything for Michael, school-wise, play-wise, taking care of him. But I love Michael. I mean, he's my life. He doesn't really like to do a lot of stuff. He likes to stay home.
Michael? Or Dave?
Oh, Dave.
Okay. I mean, tell me about your marriage. Tell me some of the things that go on in your life as a family.
Yeah.
Or things that don't happen that should happen.
Oh, he should probably do more with Michael, to be honest.
Like what?
Take an interest.
Do you think because of the fact that he's adopted, it's not his blood that maybe he's not taking an interest?
No.
Or is it something else?
I think he knows how to do it, He said himself he's lazy.
When you say take an interest, tell me what you're talking about.
Like, go to the beach. Take him to the pool. Just do stuff like that. He's satisfied if Michael can just sit in the house. And not have any friends over and, just get out and do something with him. That's what I mean.
How long have you had Michael?
10 years.
Okay. How old is he?
10 and a half.
And always been this way, or is it just something that's...
When he was little, he was, and I think a lot of it is his back. He's not comfortable sitting, you know, in like hard chairs.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he won't want to go sit at the pool or sit in the sand at the beach, that type of thing. But,
Understandably so.
you know, before he was a little bit more involved. He played with him. But Michael's not into sports, you know. He likes to swim.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, you know, taking him to play baseball or something, because he doesn't like to do that. He likes to swim and draw and play games.
His other interests?
Mm-hmm.
Fishing, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with animals?
He loves animals.
Horseback riding, maybe?
No.
I thought David could do that, but I mean, there's...
No, he just loves his animals.
Take him to the zoo?
Oh, we do that. Santa Barbara Zoo. Yeah. Movies.
So how would you describe their relationship, Michael and David's?
It's good. But Michael's, you know, if he has a problem, he comes to me. Or, you know, homework or something, he comes to me.
Would you like to see David have more of an interest in Michael's life?
Little things. Yeah.
That's important.
Mm-hmm. My dad was. I mean, it was, you know. But you make the best of it. I mean, I like being with Michael, so it's great.
That's good. Tell me about your relationship with David.
Gosh, we were married in 1980. And we went to high school together. You know, we used to like to go fishing a lot off the boats in San Juan Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we like to puddle. I do, you know, the flowery stuff, but we like to keep our yard up. The dogs, they're a big deal for us, Michael. We don't really travel much, really. But, you know, he'll go to casitas or, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, I think it's not perfect. We've had some ups and downs. But,
Describe what do you mean by ups and downs?
well,
I mean, people use that as a general term. Ups and downs, that can mean a variety of different things.
he wanted this job so much at Wainimi, and it didn't come through. So he went to Frontier for a year, and that was really hard on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he just had to, you know, try to keep him up about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got this job at Wainimi, and it got better, you know.
His attitude got better?
Mm-hmm. He likes to complain a lot.
Like, about what?
Everything. I mean, you know.
Give me an example. What's a normal day of complaining?
You know. What time we're gonna eat? You know. Just little. I mean, he talks about everything. Every little, you know, everything he's done. He'll tell you everything about it. And, you know, he'll go, and she said this, you know, but he tells you every detail about it.
Is that annoying?
No, sometimes it's kind of funny. I mean, and sometimes I don't pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's rude, but...
Well, it's part of being married.
Yeah, I agree
You just
with
hear
you.
blah, 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 blah. That's
Mm-hmm.
how you deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you have to cope with some of those situations.
Right.
But, well, how does he treat you?
He's pretty good. He's,
What does he complain about what you do or don't do? Besides when dinner's ready.
Maybe that, maybe I mollycoddle Michael too much.
Mm-hmm.
Or, there's too many animals in the house. I don't talk enough. Or whatever. I just get busy doing something and I don't sit and talk to him about his day. But, and sometimes he doesn't want to do family stuff, and I'll always do it. Other family stuff.
Like what?
Barbecues, stuff like that, birthday parties.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You think he's jealous of Michael?
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm.
Then you're devoted to the kid.
Yeah.
You're devoted to Michael, as you should be. I mean, as parents, you have a duty and responsibility to provide for these children and give them a good upbringing and provide them education, shelter, and the do's and don'ts in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you're trying to do, right? He has interests in certain things. You want to provide him with these learning experiences, and that's what being a parent's about.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen situations where, and a lot of it sometimes either with stepchildren
Mm-hmm. or
with adopted children, that one of the parents does get jealous. Because you're devoted, as a mother, natural instinct is to provide everything you can for Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like you and Dave did a lot of things in the beginning, high school sweethearts. Sounds like you guys grew up together, probably did a lot of things together for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You both experienced things together for the first time. A lot of great memories, because I remember going to high school, some things I did, and if you can share that with somebody and reminisce about, that's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
As you go up. And now you've introduced Michael into your lives, which is, I think a fantastic thing that you did, adopting him. But it's common sometimes that there's some resentment that that manifests itself to
any child,
And
any marriage you're going to have.
Was that ever a topic of discussion between the two of you?
No. But it got, do you want to go to the beach? And I know he doesn't like the beach,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to expose Michael to stuff.
Yeah.
And then, he would go to movies or, the zoo, stuff that he could do. But the beach, he doesn't like the sun. He doesn't like the water. So I would do all
You're
that
saying
stuff.
David doesn't like.
Michael,
So you would have to do everything.
Yeah, but I like the water. I like the beach. Yeah. So you do what you like, or you do what you're better at.
So Dave's kind of a drag.
Could be.
It sounds like he's a drag.
He could be a grumpy old fart.
Yeah, it sounds to me like he just wants to sit around the house, play video games, and doesn't want to be bothered.
Kind of.
And when his back's hurting, he wants to take his bike in.
Yeah, he takes it, but he doesn't take a lot of it. I mean,
you got to cope with it the best way you can. It's pain.
I don't know.
It's horrendous pain. But
I've never taken one. I have no idea what it does. Knocks you out or what? I don't know.
So how long has this been going on?
What?
This thing between you and David?
Well, I mean, I'm not totally unhappy. I mean, you go through stuff.
Do you know what totally unhappy is?
No.
And how do you know?
I'm not crying every day.
Don't have to be.
I mean, I'm happy most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, he pisses me off once in a while. You just. I don't yell. I mean, I don't.
What is I guess you're describing things like yelling and crying and
I don't know.
feeling terrible. I mean, is that what you think a bad marriage is?
Yes. You know, yeah, Michael and I tend to do a lot of stuff on our own,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to sit at home, have him just sit at home.
You're kind of distant?
He can be, yeah,
So you guys kind of do your own thing?
sometimes.
Are you growing apart?
Not really. Maybe, but not really. I mean, like, he's really busy right now with football, so,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I help him with his emails and help him with that stuff. And then, like, you know, he'll pick up the slack on another time.
What do you mean by picking up the slack?
Well, like, if I'm, you know, doing something for school, he'll help me out with, like, I had an assignment, he helped me out, helped me write it. So, you know, little things like that. But sure, there's some times where you don't like each other.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
it's not a TV show. This is not the
my
fairy tale.
parents were married 50 years, and I remember them both saying, you know, mother pisses me off.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
okay.
you have siblings, they do that too.
Mhm.
You live with people.
How are you guys doing financially?
Up and down. That's not great.
What's up and down?
I mean, it's hard sometimes to make payments, and, you know, I should go back to work.
Make the payments on what?
Bills.
You guys own the house?
Yeah.
How's that coming?
It's all right. We're late. We're late a lot.
Are you late now?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Everything caught up?
Mm-hmm. We owe some money on medical bills and stuff, but,
For who?
like, there's something for Michael, a medical bill. And I think one of Dave's, I think we still owe something on his epidural. Something like that.
You do that medical insurance?
Yeah.
Yes, but it's not.
It's, yeah, to 20% or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Well, describe what's up and down with your financial situation.
You know, if there's a big, you know, unexpected bill, then we're short.
You said you're living paycheck to paycheck?
Pretty much.
Everything in savings?
No.
Okay, so you're living check to check.
Mm-hmm.
Making it kind of stressful.
Yeah.
That can add to your stress.
Mm-hmm.
What about Michael? What school does he go to?
Santa Clara.
I haven't met him. I don't know. Is there any needs that he needs or nothing? He's just a normal kid that
Okay.
likes to do stuff.
Likes Legos.
Oh, perfect.
Play games. Likes to draw.
And it's just the three of you
Mm-hmm.
and the two dogs.
And the 3 cats and the 2 birds.
How many cars do you guys have?
2.
They paid off, or they?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any seconds out in the house or anything?
Mm-hmm.
No? What about life insurance? Do you guys have life insurance?
We
you guys?
each have life insurance.
Okay. How much?
The term life, 100,000, I think,
For both of you or each?
each.
Okay. Is that something you guys got recently?
No, we got it when we adopted Michael. We had to have it.
You haven't upped it at all? I should.
I know. The insurance man's always on me. Hang on.
So describe to me your marriage, rated from, let's say, 1 to 5. 5 being the best. 1 is not necessarily crying and yelling, okay? 1 is what 1 is to you.
Yeah, okay, you know, there's times when it is a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, I'd give it a 3 or 4. You know, 3 years ago, I'd give it a 1. I mean, it's, you know, I told him at the beginning of summer that, you know, there was just one little thing he didn't do at school that kind of would have meant a lot to Michael. And I just said, you know, you really could have gone to that. Michael was really proud of it.
What?
He got highest honors. It was honor roll at the last day of school. And Dave didn't want to go.
What school does he go to?
Santa Clara.
Why didn't he want to go?
It's his day. Whatever. It was his last day of school, too. So, I just, you know, I think Michael was really kind of hurt that you weren't there. I mean, it took. And, you know, at first he said something, and then he went and told Michael. You know, because I'm really sorry, Michael, I blew it. You know, show me your certificate, you know. And I just think you need to step up, and okay, it might be boring, or you don't want to do it, but, you know.
It's important to Michael.
It's your kid. You know, your dad did it for you.
So it's pretty significant.
You know, he works hard, but, so, you know, he does, when he realizes stuff, he does, you know, he'll make atonements for it. I mean,
But is it good enough?
usually,
Obviously it's not, because you're still bringing it up.
you're asking.
It's still in your mind.
Yeah, because I know that hurt Michael. You know, I mean, he asked, "Where's Dad?" I said, "Oh, he must be at school." So.
I've asked you a lot of questions, and I don't know you, and I don't know your family. I can't say I know your family, I know how this works, but some common things that I see, things that I can attribute to the way I was brought up, and being in a divorced family.
Mm-hmm.
And being in situations and being around people with relationships that are 1s and 2s, sometimes 3s and 4s, but 1s and 2s. It always comes down to one thing. The only reason why they're together is because of what?
The kids.
Right. And had it not been for the kids, these people would not be together. And for the most part, if that's the only reason why you're staying together, it's not a good thing for the child. Because the child can sense the animosity, the tension, the inflections in the voices, the sarcasm, the little shots at each other, the little, hey, I'm going to push your button, you're going to push my button. The child can sense all that and grows up with that. It's called learned behavior. And when these kids grow up, what do you think they're going to do? Exactly. So it's more of a harm than a good when people say we're staying together for the children, because what purpose does that serve? Honestly, ask yourself, what purpose does that serve? Probably nothing, right? It sounds to me, sitting over here, that you and Michael are fine together. It sounds to me like he obviously comes to you with any little issue he has, any problem. You're there for him. You go to these things that are extremely important for him, all those little things.
Is that wrong?
Absolutely not. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. But it sounds like David's not pulling his end of the deal up.
Yeah, but I'd let him do that.
You don't let people do anything.
I don't complain that much.
Do you have to complain, or does he just know he's doing it?
I don't know.
In marriages, you don't necessarily have to complain. Do you? You can shoot him a look. Make a gesture.
I don't have much fun.
But it sounds to me like you guys are just hanging around for Michael.
No, they love each other. You know? Of course, yeah. I mean, if Michael wasn't there, we'd still be married.
You think?
Yeah.
Really?
Better or worse.
Are you religious?
I'm Catholic.
Not so much, but I don't practice it.
Try to. For Michael.
Okay. Are you bringing him up as a...
He's going to Catholic school.
What about Dave?
He's not Catholic.
She gets married in church?
Mm-hmm.
So religion means a lot to you then?
Mm-hmm.
For better or worse? Or all that other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So divorce now is not an option.
Okay.
In your mind. I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about over here.
That's an option.
Is it one you've ever discussed with him?
Not with him.
With who?
I talked to my mom. Not so much divorce, but, you know, I just said, you know, there's times where it just gets bad.
When's the last time you had a conversation with your mom about that?
A couple months ago.
What happened?
She supported me in anything I do.
I mean, what happened that you felt that way? I'm assuming that was like a one.
Yeah. It was just a culmination of him being in a bad mood, yelling at us. Not yelling at us, but, you know,
Grumpy.
grumpy. And he hurt Michael's feelings about that school thing, and I just, you know, I was thinking, it's like, what do you have to do to get him to go to stuff?
So that was it for you. That was like the last straw.
Michael said something once, and it just made me think, you know, what am I doing? And I'm not saying anything to Dave about it, but I'm letting it happen. And that's what led me to talk to my mom. So
What did you tell your mom?
I just said, you know, I don't know if it's good for Michael. You know, that Dave gets, you know, upset about stuff. And
You mean this? What do you mean by this is good for Michael?
Dave getting upset about stuff. Michael said, Mom, you can spank me, you can ground me, but Dad can be a real a-hole. And I told him, well, that's not, you don't say that, Michael. It's very disrespectful. But it's true. I mean, what do you say to a kid?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can be true. And it just got me thinking, and I was feeling bad. And I talked to my mom. And then I talked to Dave. I said, you know, I think you're really hurting him by not, you know, you're supportive on certain things, but then, you know, you're just oblivious to his life sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs a dad.
Mm-hmm.
And you think I'm mollycoddling him, but maybe I'm compensating also.
Absolutely.
For what you're not giving him.
Yep.
And he started to cry and say he was going to try to do better.
Well, how was he brought up?
His dad was into everything.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So he was there for him?
Mm-hmm.
So where did this come from?
I think, you know, he's just, that's what's set in his ways. He doesn't want to get up and do anything.
Describe for me your husband, David.
He's very honest.
Well, give me the good stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a list of good things.
The good things,
Mm-hmm.
He's honest. He's funny. He's loyal.
Mm-hmm.
When he believes in something, he goes all the way, and he'll never quit. He loves his family. He doesn't always verbalize it. He doesn't always stay in contact with his family. He doesn't like talking on the phone. Excuse me. But, you know, if you're a part of his life, He's loyal.
And give me the other side of David.
He's grumpy. He's, can be lazy at home. You know, he works really hard at school. He's very well liked at school. He does a really good job. He can be very, very gentle. He can be impatient. And he vocalizes everything. He doesn't bite his tongue.
That can be good and bad.
Yeah, you know, one guy said, well, you're never going to die from a heart attack. He gets it all out.
Good or bad, right? So you guys have been sleeping in separate rooms for 2 years?
Mm-hmm. On and off.
Any romance in the relationship?
Yeah.
When was the last time there was any romance?
Last week. Last weekend.
So it was a 3 or 4? Do either of you drink?
Dave does.
What's he drink?
Scotch. I think. I always get it. Scotch or whiskey. I think it's Scotch.
Drink every day?
Mm-hmm.
Is he an alcoholic?
I don't know.
Does it bother you that he drinks?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Only because I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you don't drink, yeah, it kind of bugs you. But if you're a drinker, you don't see anything wrong in it.
Does he smoke?
No.
But he just drinks?
Mm-hmm.
Does he get, I don't know, when he's drinking, does he get belligerent?
Mm-hmm. He can get sarcastic.
How's his mood when he's drunk? Better or worse?
He's just quiet.
So he just shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
Even more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to step out for a second. I'll be right back, okay?
Can I see Michael?
In a minute, yeah. Okay? He's out.
Can I go to the bathroom?
In a minute. I'll go ring for that too.
How long are we going to be here?
Not that long.